You're watching the moment that should terrify every American who believes in transparent law enforcement. FBI Director Kash Patel just refused to answer whether Donald Trump appears on Jeffrey Epstein's client list, despite confirming the list exists. When Ted Lieu pressed him on photos Michael Wolff claims show Trump with underage girls, Patel's evasions weren't just awkward, they were revealing. This isn't standard bureaucratic deflection.
Thank you, Director Patel, for being here today. The FBI searched Jeffrey Epstein's Manhattan residence, correct?
I believe that happened in 2018. I think there was 2 locations, sir.
It's 2019, and in that residence, the FBI found a safe, correct?
I don't have the catalog of evidence in front of me.
In that residence, the FBI found a safe, correct?
I'll accept your representation.
Okay. And in that safe, the FBI found topless and lewd photographs of girls, correct?
Again, sir, I'll accept your representation. I don't know.
Thank you. It was all over the media at the time. There's a New York Times article that says Jeffrey Epstein is indicted on sex charges as discovery of nude photos is disclosed, dated July 8th, 2019. And the Times reports a trove of lewd photographs of girls was discovered in a safe inside financier Jeffrey Epstein's Manhattan mansion. Author Michael Wolff has conducted numerous interviews of Jeffrey Epstein. I'm going to play for you a video clip of what Michael Wolff said Epstein told him was in the safe and what he showed the author was in this safe. So let's please play that clip now.
Elected. I was sitting talking to Epstein, and he said, "Wait a minute, I got to show you something." And then he went into his safe, and he came out with photographs. They were Polaroids, I think, and he kind of spread them out like playing cards, and it was Trump. I mean, I think there were a dozen of them, and it was Trump with girls of an uncertain age at Epstein's Palm Beach house, where all of the things that he would ultimately be accused of took place. And I remember very vividly 3 of them. There are 2 in which Trump is, the girls, topless girls, are sitting on Trump's lap. And then a 3rd in which he has a stain on the front of his pants. And the girls are kind of pointing at it, sort of bent over, laughing.
So, Director Patel, I'm going to ask you a very broad and general question. As you know, Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein were friends. There are, of course, photos showing Donald Trump together with Epstein, correct?
I don't have the entirety of the photographs, but I think they've been photographed in public together.
All right. Are there any photos showing Donald Trump with girls of an uncertain age?
No.
How do you know that?
Because that information would have been brought to light by multiple administrations and FBI investigators over the course of the last 20 years.
Well, you know what? That's just not true, because no one knew about the creepy birthday message that Donald Trump wrote to Jeffrey Epstein until the Wall Street Journal disclosed it, and then all of a sudden, the Epstein estate provides it to Congress.
Well,
so certainly, you weren't there at the search. You don't know what Epstein may or may not have done with those photographs even prior to the search. Maybe someone has it. Maybe the Epstein estate has it.
You raise a great point.
So I'm going to ask you, have you asked to talk to Michael Wolff?
You raise a great point. I haven't personally asked to talk to Michael Wolff.
Has the FBI asked?
But the FBI, I'll get back to you if the FBI specifically
so Michael Wolff
has
has
ever.
About 100 hours of testimony of Jeffrey Epstein. Wouldn't it be good for the FBI to interview Michael Wolff?
I'm not saying they haven't. I just don't know.
Has FBI subpoenaed the tapes that Michael Wolff has conducted of Jeffrey Epstein?
I don't know.
All right. So if you could provide us an answer, that would be terrific.
Sure.
Well, let me ask you this question then. Have you looked at all the photos in Epstein files?
I have looked at all the information that the investigators who investigated this case have provided to run out credible leads.
And in the Epstein files, was there that creepy birthday message that Donald Trump had written to Epstein?
No, that's what I was trying to tell you. You raise a great point. The estate of Jeffrey Epstein has a voluminous amount of information that they have not released before.
Okay, so that's great. So Wouldn't it be great if FBI subpoenaed the estate of Jeffrey Epstein for all that information?
The estate is under no obligation to provide that material, even pursuant to a subpoena. That's a great point.
Yeah, that's just false.
Okay.
That's just false. You're the frickin' FBI. You can subpoena the information from the estate, and you better do that. I'd like to move
literally
on.
not how it works.
I'm going to move on now and talk about Epstein's client list. You confirmed that it exists. Attorney General Pam Bondi confirmed earlier this year that it exists. So I just want to ask you a simple question. Is Prince Andrew on Epstein's client list?
The material related to Prince Andrew has been made public.
Is Prince Andrew on the client list?
We have released the index of names
All right,
that were in Jeffrey Epstein's.
Is Donald Trump on Epstein's client list?
The index has been released, and the index will speak for
So I'm
itself.
just going to say, America is a huge red flag. The FBI director could not answer
Gentlemen.
whether Donald Trump was on Epstein's
Gentleman's time
client
has
list.
expired.
I
Chair
yield
now
back.
recognizes the gentleman from Virginia.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank the director for being here and for his
What Ted Lieu exposed in that exchange wasn't just evasion. It was a masterclass in how institutional protection works when the stakes are highest. Patel didn't just refuse to answer whether Trump appears on Epstein's client list. He revealed the entire playbook of how powerful people shield themselves using the very agencies meant to investigate them. Start with the core contradiction. Patel confirmed the FBI found lewd photographs of girls in Epstein's safe. He acknowledged Michael Wolff's testimony about seeing photos of Trump with underage girls. Yet when Lieu asked the direct question, "Are there photos of Trump with girls of uncertain age?" Patel's answer was categorical, no. His reasoning? That such information would have been brought to light by multiple administrations over 20. This logic crumbles under the slightest scrutiny. As Lieu immediately pointed out, nobody knew about Trump's creepy birthday message to Epstein until the Wall Street Journal disclosed it months earlier. The FBI didn't volunteer that information. It emerged despite their silence, not because of their transparency. This pattern reveals how selective disclosure works as institutional cover. Agencies release what makes them look cooperative while withholding what truly matters. Patel's claim that the FBI has shared all credible information becomes meaningless when the FBI itself decides what counts as credible. Notice how he immediately shifts to praising Liu's great point when cornered, a classic deflection technique to buy time and redirect attention. When Liu pressed him about subpoenaing Michael Wolff's taped interviews with Epstein, Patel claimed ignorance about whether it had been done. For the director of the FBI to not know whether they've pursued such obvious investigative leads suggests either incompetence or deliberate blindness. The exchange about Epstein's estate exposes another layer of institutional failure. When Liu suggested subpoenaing the estate for remaining materials, Patel claimed the estate had no obligation to provide that material even pursuant to a subpoena. This is legally incorrect. Federal subpoenas have broad reach, especially in ongoing criminal matters. Patel's false claim serves a purpose. It makes aggressive investigation sound futile, lowering public expectations about what's possible. Most revealing was Patel's response to direct questions about the client list. He confirmed it exists, confirmed Attorney General Bondi had acknowledged it exists, then refused to say whether Prince Andrew or Trump appear on it. Instead, he referenced the index of names that's been released, claiming it speaks for itself. But indexes don't contain the context that matters most. The nature of the relationships, the evidence of criminal activity, the scope of potential trafficking. By pointing to partial disclosure as complete transparency, Patel demonstrates how bureaucratic sleight of hand works. The moment crystallizes when Liu asks the ultimate question, is Donald Trump on Epstein's client list? Watch Patel's calculated non-answer unfold in real time. A textbook example of how officials evade accountability while appearing cooperative. This matters because it reveals how powerful institutions protect powerful people through strategic incompetence and selective transparency. When career FBI agents pursue genuine leads, they're replaced with loyalists who claim ignorance about obvious investigative steps. When public pressure builds for disclosure, agencies release peripheral information while withholding core evidence. When pressed for specifics, officials cite legal restrictions that don't actually exist. The human cost is measurable. When law enforcement protects political allies rather than pursuing evidence, victims don't get justice. When agencies prioritize reputation management over investigation, patterns of abuse continue. When the public loses trust in institutional integrity, cooperation with law enforcement erodes across the board. Watch Patel's body language during those crucial seconds, the slight pause before his denials, the way he deflects to procedure when cornered on substance. These aren't the reactions of someone confident in the evidence. Patel's evasions weren't bureaucratic caution. They were proof that the FBI under his leadership serves political protection rather than public justice. Lieu's questions exposed that reality in real time. The 30 seconds of terror weren't Patel's fear of legal consequences. They were his recognition that the American people were watching him choose loyalty over law.